Well, talking of like, I don't know, whether you want to speak about this or not, but do you like Giggs' album?
I haven't listened to it properly.
I haven't listened to it entirely.
That's a good
I haven't listened to it properly.
Yeah,
But what I will say,
I do like
shout out Snips though. I'm so happy about that.
Oh yeah, big up Snips.
So happy about that.
What did he do?
He's got he produced 2 of the records on there. I can't remember what.
Oh, okay. Which ones?
The one with Wretch.
That's my favourite one.
And he produced one called Show Me Respect.
Guap Express. Oh,
okay.
He produced that as well, yeah?
I think it's Show Me Respect.
Big up Snips though, because he's been putting out.
But this is one thing I can say from what I have heard of Giggs' album. It sounds very, very hip hop. Like it's got that kind of pure hip hop sound. Like it doesn't sound trappy. It doesn't sound. It sounds like rap, and that's why I like seeing the features of Wretch, who we know is a lyricist, rap. Jadakiss, rap. Like it feels very rap, bro. When I'm listening to it, I'm like, this is hip hop, bro. Like
he's a father for them.
Of course.
What? It's back to the essence, though. When I'm listening to it, I'm like, this is back to the essence.
When you see the features he got, you just say, "You are the father."
Yeah, man brought out.
I don't feel like there's a feature he can't get.
Nah.
I don't think there is. I think he could get any feature.
Giggs is like, I think Giggs has put himself in a position, where like he's so respected worldwide that he can get any feature he wants. Do you get what I'm saying? Even when there was this aura around, like, when he came out and did the song with Drake or whatever, he spoke about it, and bare people, like a lot of the Americans at the time, or some of them, just didn't really get it. Like, I feel from what I sensed from an artistic point of view, anyone that was like anyone that was an artist or that worked in the artistic field got it straight away and was like, rah, my man's kind of cold still. It just took for that to sort of trickle down, and then for some people to kind of get it. But also remember, we're in the element of group think. So when somebody comes out, if one person, especially in America, comes out, group think. So when somebody comes out and says, "Oh, right, this is what's this, man? This is trash." Then you get a bunch of other people that come out and say, yeah, because then they start feeling comfortable about talking about all of that as well.
What's it called again?
Group think. But yeah, group think. Yeah, but I was away, so I listened to it. But you know what? Yeah, see, for me, I have like the way that I congest certain artists are very different to others. Yeah. So like when I'm a fan of someone, I need to digest it differently. Do you get what I'm saying? So I was on my travels and that, I'm listening to this, but there was like, admittedly as well, when I'm listening to it, like the album started off hard, there was a couple of bits in there that I didn't particularly like, but now I know I need to go in my car, I need to drive around and I need to hear it differently.
That's where I listen to
because then you start to understand, for me, I start to understand things, hear things a little bit differently, but also even pushing that to the side, going to the show. Because like, do you know what? There's one thing that like I thought about when I was listening to Giggs' album. Last year for me, one of my favorite albums of last year was Gets' album. But he put out a song called Slumdog Millionaire. That was like the first song that he had to the rollout, whatever, and I didn't like it. But then when I went to his show, and I heard him perform it, I got it. Do you get what I'm saying? It was just very different. Do you understand what I'm saying? I got it immediately.
I'm exactly the same as that, but with videos.
Okay.
There's songs that I'll listen to driving, and I won't really like them. And then if I see the video, and the prime example is the single off of Giggs' album, 187. So first time I heard it was when it came on the album, and I was just driving. And you listen to some music,
I like that straight
and you
away.
might just not be in the
mood. You didn't like it when you first heard it?
First time I heard it, it wasn't I didn't like it. But I didn't
grab you.
love it. It wasn't like, this is the best one on the album.
And the video.
But then you watch the video, and now you can see exactly what Giggs is thinking when he's making the tune, or the way that he's just packaged that whole thing, and that's the next level.
Do you know when
video,
I heard 187? Do you know what I thought? Instantly, I thought Giggs, has, as a certified for me, perfected how to make that proper hard shit a certified live banger. See, when you hear 187 at his show, that's going to be the moment.
That's the festival song for
That's going to be the moment. Literally, that's going to the production on it. Like when you listen to the production, especially like with proper speakers as well, you can feel it immediately. 187.
See, the way I feel about
you can see that, but and that's not like he's not doing that by accident. Like he knows what he's doing when he's doing that.
187 was like the whipping excursion for this year for me.
Because that was
I didn't like whipping excursion the first time I heard it.
So going to whipping it, I heard that. I love that
Whipping
straight away.
Excursion was a
But
mad
that is it's interesting that you say that, yeah, because for me, when I'm like just going through all kinds of things in my brain, yeah, I was trying to work out the moment maybe when he realized that he could lyrically take a song like that and make it a certified live banger. And the moment for me might have been whipping excursion, because I noticed from then, like, although the styles has been sort of the same, there was something that was about that. And then when you started to hear more songs,
because there was a dance of it as well.
Oh right,
Remember
the dance.
the viral.
That was
Skepta,
Skepta did it, and then
yeah.
A Squeezy and then bare people did it. It was funny.
So and then you got the pauses as well, like literally the beat drops,
there
and
might
then
be
you got like
2 bars before
before
Giggs says
you even
anything.
hear anything. Do you get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I think it started from around there still.
I think a perfect example, of what you said about the visual thing as well is like bare people said this to me. Is Going Bad with Meat Mill and Drake.
Okay.
I know bare people that didn't like that song. Then once they saw the video, they were like, "Raw, this is kind of opened it up more, and I see it a bit more."
Can I just say, I don't want to change the subject too much here, but just to go off that, yeah. I always preferred that song better than the Fabulous, the one with Meek and Fabulous. But yeah, that's a conversation for another day. Go on,
One thing I will say is, you see the perspective that you built from saying, "Wow, when I see the video, I get it." Remember, that's the artist's perspective.
Yeah, but that's what I mean, because now it's clicking with me. Like, now I see what the song's fully about.
Now,
when I was driving down the M23 to Brighton, it came on. I might not have been in the mood to hear that kind of music.
this is what I
you know
want to ask
So
you
like,
to do now. You see that level of attention where you can say, "All right, cool. Now moving forward, you're gonna be like, I'm gonna wait to see the whole package before I judge it." You should do like that with everything to do with music.
I don't
Because
think
sometimes,
so.
one second.
It's not always that easy though.
Nothing in life is easy, fam. I've got twins. I can tell you that. It's not about it being easy.
No, but I mean,
what I'm saying to you is, you see someone's personal. Like, I've been in the studio now for 9 months, 10 months.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, when someone's giving you a different part of them sonically, allow them to do things within their own time. Don't put the pressure on them, because then you're ruining that organic moment of releasing the information when it's right. Like Kanye West done that interview with Charlamagne. If he had done it a day before or a day after that, it wouldn't have been that interview. And Chucky said he loves that interview. I'm not saying it wouldn't have been better or it wouldn't have been worse. I'm saying it wouldn't have been that interview. But that's the Chucky. But of course it was. But that's the flipping interview that Chucky liked. And I'm saying to you, all of these things that we want from certain UK artists, we should wait for the right time. Because I didn't know Giggs was coming Halfcast. I don't think Halfcast knew Giggs was coming. I don't think anyone really knew apart from Chucky. And then the moment happened and it's beautiful and it was right.
I slightly feel like you're talking about something that was part of the other subject, though.
No, my point was this. That's the reason why I'm going back to it, because it's going back to the original point of when we were talking about, I was saying to you with interviews.
Wait for it to be the right time.
Wait for the right time, trust me.
The album's
it
out.
feels better.
So 187
I'll only do that.
No, but
surely
that's
the right
what I'm
time.
saying to you. That's not art. Art isn't a program. Art isn't the album's out and then 2 weeks later there's an interview. And that's not art. Art is a method of expression. My method of expression is different to yours. It's different to Chucky's. It's different to my man of corner. It's different to Callum. You should appreciate everyone's method of expression because it's an insight to them. When you watch someone's video, that's their visual method of expression, which allows you to understand their mindset and how they saw the video, how they saw the thing when they were making it. Yeah, but what I'm saying is, with an interview now, because you don't know what they're gonna say, because you don't know what you're gonna get, you've got to trust in them.
I wasn't talking about it.
No. I know you weren't. No. You're missing one point. Because remember before you was talking about you want interviews from the artists and so on and so forth. I'm going back to the original point of saying to you, everything to do with someone's art, wait for them for the right time to present it to you. Because every question you have will probably be answered before you even get the opportunity to do it. This happened to me for time when I've wanted certain things from certain artists. That's why I'm going back to that, because it's really important, because music is getting rushed too much. I don't like the state of music right now. Everybody needs everything straight away. Like, I'm from the era where you released 3 singles then an album. And now, man, I'm releasing video, single, everything on the same day. It's, for me, personally, it's just a bit upsetting because the appreciation for the Sonics has gone out the window. And now it's all about the marketing and what controversial thing can you say to sell your product. And it's gone away from the music.
It's changed.
But yeah, do you know what? I fully get you. I'm a bit baffed to where it, like sort of come from. But I get what you mean.
Because originally, we spoke about why artists don't have interviews. And what I'm trying to say is that's a part of the art. The same way he sees the video and understands why, if he waits for the interview to happen when it's meant to happen,
Yeah.
he'll then understand why he took 5 months or why he took 7 months, 8 months. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
Fair.
It's all part
But
of the art.
personally, I'll only do that with artists that I like. Either I'm a big fan of, or
But it should
maybe
only
something
be.
that-
But if you're not a bigger fan of something, why you even got an opinion of what they should be doing? If you ain't
I
a fan
don't.
of it, why
Even
do you
if
care?
I'm a fan of someone, I don't even particularly prior to what they're doing. I don't even have an opinion. I just want to just see exactly what it is that they're
But
doing.
I'm only talking about music that you're a fan of. Like if you're in a fan of the music, it don't matter what the next man's doing. I'm talking about what you care about, what you're investing your time in, your money in.
Yeah,
like there's artists that I pay for their music. I pay to go to their shows. You do the same thing. You will
yeah.
know someone and you'll still pay to go to their show. Do you know where I'm coming from? So
if it's trash though, it's just if it doesn't resonate with me, it just
doesn't resonate with
And there's
you.
sometimes where there's certain artists that I might like, and they've brought out something and it's just been very far off what I would like to see from them, which is okay. And I just don't. If later on, you know, I see some other things that gravitate and I like it or whatever, then cool. But sometimes I'll just let that go and just it is what it is. It's an album I just didn't really check for. Do you get me?
what do you think of the Gigs album?
With who?
What do you think of the Gigs album? Have you listened to it properly? Cause
Yeah, I've listened to it a bunch of times now. So I listened to it a bunch of
That's
times.
what I have to do.
Yeah.
I can't like an album the first time I listen to it. It has to be several times over.
Yeah, of course. Yes, but especially certain artists as well. For me, it was like I felt like it was a proper decent album. Obviously, he still raps incredibly well, in my opinion. The production was pretty good. There was like obviously some okay moments, but I just feel like that is it's very difficult for me, and not for me, but there's a lot of the time I'm never going to like a project or every single song from start to finish. There's always going to be moments that I proper love, and then moments where I feel like it's.
I feel that's
and the moments those moments happen for me, which I don't want to talk too much about because because it was a good album, I don't want to go into too much of all the things that I didn't like. But it was like what was there was a song that really threw me off.
Alright, let me get the track list up.
It was.
But the thing is,
wait! Don't let me. I think it was Who.
Yeah,
It's
that's
Who. Where he's singing.
It's a reggae song.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah. So I was listening.
Gigs put a reggae
do you know what,
song on the album.
I was listening to that, and I was thinking, Ross, if I was listening to this in the dark, like 2:00 at night, on my ones, and I was already paranoid that somebody was in the house, this song would freak me the fuck out, bruv. I'm like, so then I was trying to figure out when I've never heard, because this was another conversation here. Someone said to me, oh, you know what, like, maybe we could talk about this in a bit, but they was just saying, same old gigs or whatever. For me, I don't have a problem with any artist being the perfect version of themselves and giving me different versions of that. I'm cool with that.
That's
good.
That's lit though.
And I'm cool with that. There are obviously, for me, I didn't necessarily think that was fully the case because I'm listening to Who, and I'm like, I've never heard my man do that before, ever.
But you know what I think, and this is one thing I love about Gigs. Gigs is the biggest Gigs fan you will ever find.
Yeah, no.
You won't find a bigger fan than Gigs of himself. And he's even open about that. He listens to Gigs all the time. He listens to his own music. And I think where they're saying, it's the same old stuff, I feel like he makes music that he wants to hear. He doesn't think about what's DJ Double going to play in the club? What's Chucky going to listen to when he's in the house on his own? Like, he doesn't think about these things. I don't think. I think he thinks, what am I in the mood to make today? What do I want to hear for the next year?
Yeah.
And he makes what he wants to hear. And that's what I think's sick about it.
But there's only, for me, again, there's only certain, like, artists that, so there's, like, two categories, There's certain artists where, like, as I just said, you can give me different versions of the perfect you that you do. And then there are other artists that, like, I wouldn't mind seeing experimenting and doing something different. Not to say that I hold them to the a higher regard. It's just I see them artistically different. Okay, Styles P. I could listen to the same version differently of Styles P for the rest of my life. I don't particularly want to see Styles P doing mad, crazy, different types of sounding shit.
Will you still check for him though? Will you still go check for him?
I'd still listen to it. And I'd still take it in fairly. I wouldn't listen to it and think, what the fuck is he doing? I'll still give it a shot. If it takes me, it takes me. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's just one of them things.
Go watch his new video that he dropped the other day. And it text me. Yeah.
Okay, I watched it. I liked his last mixtape. He did 2 mixtapes last year, which was sick, but we'll not talk about my man. But Gigs anyway, I put in that category of that's fine. It's just when I heard them 2 songs, Well, that and there's another one. Was it called? Some other guy singing on it. I think it's called. Talk about it.
That was the one that I didn't like off it.
Yeah.
And you know what? So the first time I was listening through, because I do so much like clubs and stuff. The first time I listen to an album, I'm always listening for what's going in the club set. Do you know what I mean? Where's the club banger in here? That's the first thing I'm always listening for in an album. And obviously with gigs, it is to a point where like
gigs ain't that type of artist,
I thought I knew what to expect. You know what I mean? I kind of thought there's not going to be any curveballs in there. So I thought I knew what I was going to be listening to. But yeah, when that track came on, it threw me off.
But just to, like, for me, I don't think Giggs is, like, he might have turned into that artist over the last couple of years because he's perfected something and been able to do that. But as an artist as a whole, I don't think like Giggs has ever intentionally ever tried to come out and make a club banger. He's just, as you said, made whatever he felt like he has wanted to do at that time. That's the way that I've seen it. But overall, I proper fucked with it. There was one thing that
it was my favourite album that dropped on the weekend, to be honest.
Yeah, there was loads. There was only one other thing that I feel that I personally would have liked.
Yeah.
Which was, because see, like the first 3 songs, Bad Cruddy. Well, actually, the bunch like they've got that same type of mad bouncy
that was
energy.
Like a mixtape.
I wanted one more.
Another one.
Just
like
one more.
One,
just another Beat Freaks kind of vibe. Yeah, just one more of them ones, and then that would have been perfect. Just one more of them.
Yeah.
Sorry, so the vibe I'm getting is like a hip hop album, a proper hip hop album.
But it's always a hip hop album, though. No,
the last album.
I feel like it's more than that. I feel like it's a Giggs album. It's not just a rap album. Like it's a Giggs album. It's a Giggs album.
You can definitely tell the difference between obviously the like see like what
very different.
Very different. Yeah.
So it's different. It's different to Warm to them.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's definitely different.
I think the production on this project is probably, and I haven't listened to every Giggs mixtape, so I couldn't say. But I think the production on this is up there. It's definitely got to be in like.
Okay, I thought he was gonna say the best.
Almost the best.
Is it better suited for Giggs or is it?
Yeah, it's Giggs. The whole thing is Giggs, sick. And he signs off certified gigs as well with Shades.
Do you know what I would have liked seen on there? But this is just me, like, and this is just my selfish thing as well. I would love to have seen like a Nipsey and Giggs joint. If Nipsey Hussle and Giggs had a song, I was looking at the project thinking there's gonna be I don't know why. I just thought like because it's Giggs' time and it's Nipsey's time. I just thought Nipsey would have been one of the, because I just see Nipsey kind of like the US Giggs.
And the thing is, I like
respected from the road.
I think he's more suited for, because I heard you say Gunna, and I like Gunna, but Gunna's lit, Gunna's cold, but Giggs is the father. Yeah. Like, and this is no disrespect to Gunna, so I know you've done your thing, but
no, not Gunna D.
No, you're talking about Gunna, the American rapper.
Yeah.
I'm saying he's a young buck.
He's new, isn't it? That's the thing. He's just getting
Giggs is a father.
Yeah, I hear
you put fathers.
But Little Yachty's on there. Little Yachty's on there.
See, that's another thing coming back to.
I didn't know Little Yachty was on there.
I didn't know that. So
looking at the collaborations, I feel like Giggs has picked those people because he likes them.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? Like you hear,
he's not gonna do a song with somebody he don't fuck with. Of course not.
He got Lil Yachty, he got French Montana.
Lil Yachty, I'm not a fan of Lil Yachty, but he does flow kind of decent on it still.
That tune's hard. Even the hook on that tune's hard as well.
Yeah.
I like the fact he had Yachty, man. It was another curve.
It was a mad curve.
There was mad curve because I'm looking at it like, Nipsey needs to be on this. It dropped and I see Lil Yachty. I was like, okay, it's interesting. The song wasn't that bad. Like Yachty did his thing, but I wish Nipsey was on there, man.
Yeah,
I'm just being selfish though.
I hear that still.
I think
one other thing, I just thought about this actually. So, even going back to the You thing where he's kind of doing the
reggae song,
singing kind of vibe, whatever, yeah.
Because
I was thinking I've never heard him like that. But then, have you heard a song called Best Pussy? I think it's on. Is it on Let 'Em Have It? Or When will it stop? I think it's on one of them anyway. Best Pussy.
No, I don't think
he's singing on that a little bit, not proper.
Who's singing on that?
He's not singing. Like he's not singing.
Who's singing on that?
Giggs. He's not singing. Like so. Let me. I don't want.
There's another song,
but it's like he's kind of like.
Is it Spun It? Is it Spun It? Where he's singing on the hook as well.
Is it? Yeah.
There's another one earlier in the album where he sings.
Give me another Best Pussy. And I would have loved that.
I haven't heard it.
I like Giggs when he's doing the gal thing as well, proper.
Yeah, it's fun.
Spun It.
It is Spun It where he sings, yeah.
I really like Giggs.
But yeah, nah.
you know
Other
what
than
I
that,
like?
I think the album was cool. I thought I wasn't gonna like the Labyrinth song. I thought I was gonna hate that, to be honest.
it
with you,
cold?
but it's good. It's
Yeah.
good. So
It's not my favourite one.
Giggs don't really make shit music though. He hasn't for a while. I don't even know if he's ever
my
made
favorite
shit
is
music.
Set It Off.
He's lit.
Great Collective 187.
187 is so cold. That's the only thing.
Got
I like
Expenses
187
and
out.
Shade. The last song. Have you heard the last song on there?
Yeah, but you know what? Because it's the last one, I've never actually listened to it properly, if that makes sense.
He says some cold shit in that.
This is the thing about the album as well. It's long. There's 18 tracks.
Yeah, it is long.
So-
I would
and
have
it
taken
had
off.
kind of a mixtape feel, but with sick production. Like the production level, you can tell Giggs has really leveled up with
Do you know why I
production. Like,
disagree, though?
you know, like there's a lot more resources there, and
Yeah.
there's better studios. Like I don't know if he.
No, Amsterdam had some dope production.
Bad
Oh my
Boy.
God.
That's recent.
Bad
I'm
Boy.
talking about from the early stuff. If you
Okay.
listen to
Oh,
the
Pain
first
is
album
the
and the
essence.
first
Yeah,
mixtape,
yeah,
of
like,
course.
But I disagree with what you said about it feeling like a mix. I feel like when I listened to it, for me, I felt like this was a proper a Giggs album. What Happened to Them sounded like a proper mixtape for me, which to
Yeah.
me is what if anything, that might probably be my favorite proper project that he's done. Yeah,
I love
but
that project.
just the way that like musically there was like a lot of different things that were going on in there. Do you get me? And that's why I feel like, and different styles and different things that he was trying, and I just feel like that's what to me made it an album. It seemed like he went into that with a little bit more of a thought process of, okay, I'm going to execute this and do that.
Well,
With
then this
One to Them,
album-
he just spazzed.
But if you,
But
see,
to-
if you see what I meant by mixtape, yeah, is nowadays really what's the difference between a mixtape and an album? And mixtapes used to be just spitting over beats that were other people's and then you put it out. What I meant by a mixtape is if you listen to
man,
this.
not all the time. It wasn't always like that.
No,
you
no,
know?
but that's what I mean. Differentiating between an album and a mixtape. Nowadays, you
Yeah, that
can't
was the
really.
status quo,
Someone
really,
drops a
what he said.
mixtape on Spotify or they drop a mixtape on Apple Music. To me, really, that's an album, but it's a mixtape because do you get what I'm saying?
No, I hear where you're,
But
I hear where you're coming from, but I know loads of artists that would have like half original and half like
what I'm
other
saying,
people's songs.
but
Yeah,
what
you
I'm
can't
saying
put
about
them- you
this
can't
having
put-
the
you can't
mixtape
release them,
feel
though.
is you get to the end of the song and it almost mixes into the next song. It's not like clear cut. There's not a 1 second gap in
The thing
between
is,
the
the
songs.
best-
Do you know what I mean? And it sounds like they might. The
Set
end
It
of
Off on
the
187
end of
like
one
that,
song
by the way.
might echo, and you hear that echo
No, I
at
hear
the start
you,
of
but
the
you're
next
talking
song.
about. But the thing is, the reason why that's mad because, and this is why I say to you, you have to care about artists is because that's a specific type of thing. I can't even. Do you know what it is? It's so mad when I talk about music. Sometimes people think I'm joking. To make an album, you have to go to the mountains.
Yeah, of course.
So there's sonically, it sounds a certain way, and a mixtape will never sound as cohesive as an album. A mixtape will just be loads of really good songs that you put together.
I disagree so much these days because people,
then you're not listening
the
to
newer,
music.
younger artists are putting mixtapes out
You need to listen
that
to music.
sound like albums.
Then you shouldn't listen
But
to
I
them
just feel
artists.
like
You shouldn't listen to them.
You should listen to the artist.
I'm gonna come and give you,
You
some
should listen
artists
to
to
the
listen
artist.
to.
Oh, you
and
should
you'll
listen to
hear
them
the
artists.
and you'll be like, wow, this is the difference between that and like Gets released an album last year. It was nowhere near a mixtape. It was nothing but an album.
For me, artists with art. For me personally, artists with substance, you can tell the difference between their mixtapes and their albums. For me, the artists that don't have so much substance, you can't really tell the difference. It doesn't mean that I necessarily think the thing's shit, but
Can you
okay,
tell
for
the
example, okay. This is just me personally, right? Let's go with Gunna. I've listened to his last project before, right? I don't know whether this one is an album or a mixtape or whatever, but they both just sound the same to me. It just sounds the same thing.
Yeah.
It's still a wave. It's still a wave, but that's just that. Any artist that I check for that has a big amount of substance, you can always tell the difference between, usually anyway, their album and their mixtape.
If it's on a streaming platform, it's an album.
We just call it a
Really?
project. Let's just
Really?
call it a project.
Yes,
Let's
Really,
call
but
it a
that's what I'm
project.
saying.
I
That's what
don't
I'm
even
saying.
want
That's
to-
what I'm
innit?
saying.
Just
That's
a
been
project.
broken down because before, like for instance, if you want to get Lil Wayne's Drought Series mixtapes, none of them are on streaming platforms.
No.
Annoying, innit?
None of them. You have to go on datpiff.com or rest in peace datpiff.
Well, all the gigs is proper mixtapes. All the gigs is proper mixtapes are not on Spotify or anything.
Yeah.
Who? What?
All the gigs is proper mixtapes.
But you
all
have
mixtapes
new
are not
artists
streaming.
now.
That's
all
what
the
I'm trying
best
to
of
say.
gigs.
But new
tapes.
I'm saying
artists
if it's
now
on
are dropping
streaming, it's
mixtapes.
basically an album. but you're gonna use the word project, whatever we call it. If it's on streaming, more often than not, it's original music, unless you're Drake and you can get it cleared by Kanye and all these things, and you got them superpowers.
But
if it's on streaming, it's original music. If you got to go and get the stuff where Lil Wayne is blacking out on all these beats where he's killed everyone else's beats, you got to go SoundCloud or something that isn't regulated or that Piff or whatever. That's how it is now.
That's what I was saying about these days. There's not really a difference because you got new artists now dropping mixtapes on Spotify or Apple Music or the streaming platforms.
And then you got certain artists calling it a playlist and saying all these things like More Life was a playlist. Like what were you?
No,
it's an album, bro.
I hear what you're saying still. Like
it's all original music. The beats are original. Everything. Like we can't say it's only an album if it's storytelling or if it's got a certain level of substance. Bro, if it's original music for me with an original beat and you're laying, then that's just that's
Let me show
it.
you. Let me just show you again.
I've said that before and you shut me down.
I hear you. I hear where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I hear your perspective and I think everything you're saying makes perfect sense. But that's the reason why it's blurred. Because no one cares.
It is blurred.
Like no one, and that's the reason why I just can't listen to them artists. There's just no point because I'm not gonna allow them to confuse me. Because in the real world of music, I feel like the same rules will apply. The same rules will apply when you're making a body of work. It's a body of work that's cohesive. Yeah. You're working with a team of people. It's not like when you make a mixtape, you literally.
But is that a generational thing though? Are there young people doing it?
It's just because when we got into the game and we were making music ourselves, it's a thing where in which we don't know the difference. Man. My man's making grime. It's like, man ain't got no time to think about albums, mixtapes, nothing. Do you know? We're just making music. And then when you start getting into understanding the metrics of music and so on and so forth, it's a whole different conversation you're having. Yeah. I just think our scene's at such an adolescence, we're not going to see what we should be seeing until either the people like Gigs come back, or our scene just gets a little bit older, because that's the reason why everyone's confused on one album or what a mixtape is, because they're listening to predominantly our scene.
But then, and the thing is that you said as well, there will be artists that will definitely say, I've put this project out on a streaming platform and this is categorically not an album. They'll say that. They'll say, I don't see this as an album. Like, I remember AJ Tracy put a project out. What was his project he put out last year? Maybe last year, the year before.
I can't remember, but I know what you're
that was about. A tape. If you ask him, or it was, and then this is his debut album that he's put out, and he'll tell you both of them sat on streaming platforms. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Both original music.
Secure the Bag was last year.
Secure the Bag.
Secure the Bag was 2017 actually.
Yeah, 2 years ago. So Secure the Bag, he'll tell you probably that's not an album, it's an EP or whatever it is. Yeah. This is his debut album, even though they're both original music. So I get it. You will find artists that will differentiate.
So, but what are you saying? Are you saying that Secure the Bag is an album?
No, I'm just saying, like, that's why we got to de-tag these things. For me, I think so. You should just de-tag them.
Well,
if you're putting out original music, then you're just giving your fans a project, aren't you?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's my thing, innit? Like,
you're giving
for me anyway, I've already music,
just like
but
it's your art. It's still your art.
But they want you to consume it differently. That's what I'm saying to you. Like, art is like, it's such a. We shouldn't be able. It's weird. I just feel differently.
But that's what I'm saying. What do you feel? Are there rules and regulations for these things?
What do you feel? Go on. What do you feel?
I feel like whatever I put in, I could be honest enough with you to tell you how I feel this project should be perceived purely because of what I put in. So if I've invested more time, money, it's taken me 1.5 years to make, I can comfortably say to you that's an album. But if I go and make original music, which I'm capable of doing with the boys, and it's a quick thing, a month, I'm not gonna put it on the same level as something I took a year and a half.
No, but that's what I'm saying. That's why it's weird. That's
what I mean.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It's weird because I'm here. I know. I get. I'm here saying we should get rid of these titles and stuff like that, and they should just be what they are, projects. But in the same breath, I completely understand that. If an artist comes to me and says, "Bro, this is my mixtape," like, don't tell me it's anything else. This is a mixtape. I can't argue with that because it's your work and it's how you see it, and you're giving it to the world.
You still might see it as an album if they. Do you know, it doesn't even really matter.
I'm just coming into what he's saying, and what he said is obviously there was a traditional status quo that you know, if it was on that Piff, it was a mixtape. Do you know what I mean? If Lil Wayne's blacking out over like 10 different beats,
that's then like this is now.
I know.
It's just all the same, isn't it?
This is very different. But one thing that we can all agree on is that this is Giggs' album.
Actually, there's another thing we can agree on. The Carter 5 was trash. That's what I'm saying. Well, I'm sorry, I waited too long for that, I did, and it wasn't good enough.
Yeah, I hear that still.
Did you like it?
No, I didn't. But I don't want to talk about.
I'm so upset, and that wasn't the Carter 5 he made back in the day, the one that got confiscated. That is a different. I don't know what that is.
This is the new thing quickly, but yeah. Anyway, aside from that, like, I still thought that this was good. However, like, actually not. However, Welcome to Them is still probably my favourite Gigs proper project though. I'm not gonna lie
Welcome
to
to Them,
you.
I can't lie. Still,
It's hard.
you must have shut in there, your face.
Yeah.
But when I
Bad
hear
boy.
Popcorn and I'm like,
That's
yo,
that. Yeah,
boy.
see, that's what I was about to say.
Ruler.
That's what I wish I'd heard on this album.
What about the
It's
landlord?
one of
What
them.
about the landlord?
Popcorn again.
Again.
my landlord was
Yeah,
judging,
yeah.
you know.
Put
Chucky.
Fanatics on the beat.
Yeah.
Like-
Fanatics has got production on there.
They got
actually,
Baby,
so, yeah.
which is
Shout out
for
to
me.
them.
For
You know,
me,
for
that's
the-
that's
Gigs
that's
is
a
lit,
club
you know.
joint.
Chucky
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
I know. Sorry. But also, shout out to Fanatics as well, because I felt like with that song, that was like they almost brought back an element of old Gigs in that. They're like just the production.
There was
in
a
it.
yeah. When I heard it, there was like a. I still can't pinpoint what song. I feel like it is the newer version of, but it's
okay.
almost like the
Yeah,
look
yeah, I
what
got
the
that.
cat dragged in, Monster Man. But it's not one of those.
I
There's
don't know,
something
yeah.
else about it. But
How can he have so many hits?
Bro.
It's,
You know how many
I tell you how.
projects-
You know, I
bro.
tell you how. This is how, because he makes music that he wants to hear. Doesn't give a shit about anyone else. He doesn't care if no one likes it. He makes his music, and there's different gigs, isn't it? There's not just one gigs.
Do you know loads
There's-
of people can say they do that and they still won't make the hits for the gigs?
No,
mate?
because what they
that
think
is not the answer. I don't know what the answer is. I need to talk to him.
But that's
Yeah,
and
he
that's
has
the
the
thing,
answer.
because
He's got the
other
answer.
artists will go in the studio and they'll go into a session with someone and be like, "All right, well, you see that song that such and such has got now. I want one of them." Whereas I don't feel like Gigs does
Yeah,
that.
but
Gigs
life
never
isn't that
goes
black
in
and
and
white,
says,
though.
"Right, see what this
I'm gonna
person's
do
getting
that."
in the
No,
club."
I agree Gigs does that, but I don't think life's that black and white. Because I feel like there are some people that do what Gigs does, but they don't get the same results as Gigs. In fact, I know some people that are just very free-minded,
yeah.
and they just don't get this. Like,
What, like,
Gigs
makes music
deserves
for
a little
them-
bit more credit than that. I don't know how he's doing this, because he's been
But
doing this for
the other thing though,
What's the question? I don't understand. What do you mean?
How's this guy got so many hits? Like, how do you manage to make so many hits, bruv?
it's a work rate
This
thing.
is a
It's-
joke.
You're
But
talking
it's-
about Warm to them. You didn't mention the landlord. That's what I was trying to say.
I'm gonna get there.
The
I'm
landlord
gonna,
was the thing.
I'm gonna get
Mad.
there. I'm
But
gonna get there.
that's a work rate thing though, because you look at someone like Vibes Cartel, another artist here who has got hits for days, but not every song he makes is a hit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And not every song
they
he
release-
makes,
he releases a lot of
everyone will
good
like.
music.
I feel that way about Gigs. He has got hits for days, but I don't like every single one of
He's
his
released
songs.
a lot of music.
But he has different gigs as well. There's gigs like Whipping Excursion 187 that proper that greasy gigs. Then there's Look What the Cat Dragged In,
Lockdo.
Lingo, Lockdo, Baby.
Too hard.
That's club gigs, but also the girls like it, and the girls can hold a wine to it in the club and
I
whatnot.
put that in the same category.
but
as
loads
I
of
put that in the
artists
same
have that.
category as Monster Man, by the way.
Yeah,
Because
yeah, sorry,
you gotta
Monster
think,
Man
he's
as
got
well,
older
yeah, yeah.
versions of them as well.
And that's what I mean. But every stage of gigs, he has these different versions of himself. So Monster Man is exactly the same gigs that has done Baby.
Yeah.
I
Does that
don't
make sense?
disagree with
But
that.
then he's got-
But that doesn't answer my question.
See,
and
my
I'm
favourite
really
type
furious.
of gigs is like the Essence. You heard
Yeah.
the Essence
Yeah, yeah,
from
yeah.
from Want to Them.
Yeah. The
Whereas
Essence is
like
hard.
proper,
Yeah.
I-
That was one of my favorite
like that's
songs on there.
that's like truthful music. Do you know what I mean?
beats
He's
are
sitting there and he's telling you like
He's talking to you.
But
they were
how?
blocking bare. Like
What
I'm
do you mean,
rocking
how?
here in the rocket. He's just sat
Bro,
there
the
just
answer
like,
to that question, I think he can only give you.
I need
But
to-
I think
I just
that
talk to him.
it is.
Ask him.
I do think that it has a lot to do with, like, he has released a lot of music, and within releasing a lot of music, and him being just wanting to be a big fan
best.
of himself and being the best, he's just on perfecting and bodying.
Everything.
yeah,
innit?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he's just on perfecting and bodying. He will listen to, so as you said, and as I've heard him say many of times before, I am my biggest fan. I listen to all my music in it. He probably makes a project, sits in the car and completely batters this project, yeah. Rewinds tunes like he's never like he's listening to it for the first time,
I
doing
would
all of
if I
that
was
stuff,
Geeks.
doing all
I'd
of that.
blow myself
But
up.
then going back again and saying, all right, I'm going into the studio this time to make something else, and I'm gonna go even more ham this time, or I'm gonna do this, or I'm gonna try that. And I just think that he's talented enough to be able to do that. He's been one of the guys who's just been able to make them type of bangers.
In my last year of secondary school, I'm giving away my age, yeah, but in my last year of secondary school, the way I listened to Hard Bodied, Gigs and Dubs, that mixtape,
Yeah.
I listened to that religiously. Pain is the essence. I want a Hard Bodied part 2. I saw Dubs did a freestyle the other day on SBTV.
I ain't seen it.
I want you two to come together, please,
Yeah.
and do a Hard Bodied part 2, because that just
Oh
takes me
my
back to
God,
Then Let Him Have It, that album when he came out with
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
It's
I'm sure-
just foundations, bro.
Bro,
He's done too much.
The intro was
What's
Let
the
Him
name
Have
of
It
that
was
song
cold.
that he done where he cussed the BBC and he done a whole video?
I'm sure that was on it.
What's the name of that song again?
What
Oh my, he's done too much.
What was
Gigs
you-
has done too much.
What was you saying about Landlord?
It's too late.
No, because you lot were saying like, well, I'm telling them that, but you didn't mention landlord.
No. So to be fair, I do still. It's hard to say it now because I haven't I need to still digest the album a little bit more and all of that. But just my first initial feeling is I do still put this album behind them. I do put it still behind Welcome to Them and Landlord, and maybe even Let 'Em Have It. But that might change.
I do want the mixtape stuff back, because I remember who was the brother that used to always. Who was the DJ that used to speak over all of that?
Big Ride.
Oh, Big Ride.
Big Ride. Yeah, big motherfucking Ride.
When you heard that,
it was lit.
Oh man,
you know what it takes you back to?
You know what? I didn't used to like it.
I loved it. Big Ride.
I'll tell you why. Yeah, because when I'm playing in the club.
You hear Big Ride?
Club, I can't wheel the song up. I'm playing from the start because now I've got Big Ride's voice.
So you know what you do? Do you know what you do? Do you know what you do? No. That is lit. Now, from a DJ perspective, it's whack. But you know what you do? You hit up, man, you can't be DJ. Nah, man. But what you do is, you just hit up Big Ride.
You remember that?
Bro, you just hit up Big Ride and say to him, bro, could you send me this?
I'm talking back then, I still don't know Big Ride.
Nah, neither do I.
This is before social media, so
but if I heard that song without Big Ride, I haven't heard that song.
Nah. But from a DJ perspective, bro, you don't.
Come on.
I don't want to play a record and you hear DJ Clue.
It's not DJ Clue. It's just a man chatting.
Now, Big Ride, he'll always say Big motherfucking Ride.
Chatting. There's a couple tunes.
I loved it. That's what made it so road for me.
If I was in the
I'll tell you the other thing as well, in the mixtapes where they get one verse in and the song will wheel up. You can't play that in the club now because now I've got.
I hear that from a DJ perspective, but I'm
selfish.
I'm not as a fan.
Man, not selfish.
Straight.
He's got a mixtape called. He's got a mixtape called "Take Your Hat Off," I think, which is hosted by DJ Who Kid. Man, don't want to be playing a record from then. You hear Who Kid.
Do you know why I get that?
Those are the days.
But you know why I understand?
Eminem's voice as well. Who Kid? What the fuck?
But what's that guy's name on the Giggs' first project again?
Who? Big Ride.
I just learned that today.
He's on all the best of gigs.
I just learned that
I think
today.
he just did another one.
Bring back mixtapes, man. I'm sorry.
I think, is that his DJ right now?
No,
or is it
I don't think
DJ?
so.
It's Dubplate Mix, isn't it?
Yeah.
Dubplate. Just to tell you quickly, see Dubplate Mix. He used to be on So Solid Sundays on the Light FM back in the day. Yeah, the Light FM. So Solid Sundays used to be a day that, from 12 o'clock all the way up to I think 12 at night. It would have all the So Solid members would just be there. So from early in the day, it would start off kind of light. Then later on in the night, when it gets to 7, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, that's when Romeo, Neutrino and all of them not come. But just before all of that, Dubplate Mix used to come on, and play 2 hours of just bare dubplates. Just dubplates of everything, bruv. The man had dubplates of everything. And then after that, I remember at 12 o'clock used to be the erection section with fucking, I can't remember what they're called.
Erection section.
Yeah, that was when they played slow jams and shit. But yeah, Dubplate Mix has been out here, bruv. Trust me. So that's his DJ now, yeah? It is, isn't it?
I'm not 100%, but I think so, yeah.
Okay. Shout out to DJ.
How do you feel about people calling this album a classic?
You can't.
Thank you. I see people on Twitter literally 2 minutes past midnight. It's a classic.
Bro, who are these people?
No,
it's just people.
Why don't you just follow them?
People just do that.
No. It just comes in the timeline, innit? Because someone's retweeted it and someone else has retweeted it, and that's what it is. It's people that want to be. Firstly, they want to be the first to listen. I've heard Giggs' album. They want to be the first, so they want that online social acceptance. Oh, sick! He's been that first.
You should come off Twitter.
What is Giggs' classic anyway?
And the other thing is, they just say stuff for retweets.
But I know all of this, but I can't be. I can't be. I just don't understand how you
But for me, it's part of the job. I feel like social media as a DJ, I can't be successful in my field.
My job, geezer.
Yeah, but I mean,
it's probably more my job than anybody's.
Maybe, but you've got work. You do work for other firms, innit? You've got MTV booking you and this and that.
But I don't care about that. I don't have no value in that. I have value on my sanity, fam. Honestly, I genuinely think I will go mentally insane by taking in that many opinions, especially the Giggs thing. That's the reason why I will not go on Twitter. Me and Chucky have discussed this several times when people put albums out and how quickly people will react to say what they say. But do you know what? It's never going to stop. Chucky, when do you reckon that will stop? Never, right?
Never. It will never stop.
I just need to come off at the time when it happens because I just don't even want...
Do you know what it is for me, to be honest with you? I can see it, but it holds... when people have them type of conversations, it doesn't hold no value to me. I don't mind seeing it. I don't mind necessarily looking at some people's opinions on it. But to be honest with you, I might look at their opinion, but maybe not respect it, or I may not necessarily
there,
take
innit?
it. It's
It's
just
Twitter.
there. If it's something that I feel a lot of people are talking about, I don't mind coming and bringing it in here and shutting it down, and letting people and making people think a little bit differently about it. Hence why when you say, for example, like there'll be a lot of people that will watch this, and they'll go on social media and they'll see all of these opinions of people and they'll hold it to some regard, and then do you know what, they'll watch the podcast and then they'll listen to you saying, but who are they? And then they might actually turn around and say, you know what, you're right, who are they? I don't even respect these opinions in the first place anyway. So that's why I don't mind bringing it in here and shutting it straight down. But anyway, what is Giggs' classic? Or is that a conversation for another day? Maybe it's a conversation for another day.
Classic album, you mean, or classic? So like
Classic album. Probably maybe Walk in the Park.
Fuck.
But even I feel like
That's
even
the one on the wall
Landlord,
of the
Landlord's a
GRM
classic
office.
album.
Landlord
Now,
could
I
be.
Makes
feel.
sense.
I feel
Huh?
like Landlord.
That's the one on the wall of the GRM office. So they got on the wall.
Oh, is it, yeah?
When they got like Home Sweet Home, Boy in the Corner, Walk in the Park.
Like,
Ghetto
what a great
Gospel.
name.
I would agree that Landlord would be deemed
I would feel
a
that
classic.
only because of what happened from it. Everything that happened,
Whipping
like
excursions on
Landlord
there,
was such.
That
a
was when the
milestone
shackles
for
were
Giggs.
fully off as well. Like,
Yeah.
sort of.
The
Like,
tour.
Pinnacle
Yeah,
Man.
the tour,
Yeah,
everything.
that's
Yeah,
what
yeah,
it
yeah.
But
Yeah,
actually,
yeah.
can I
So
just
I
say
agree.
as well, what Giggs has done with this album, I think, sick. The marketing was dope, but do you know about this augmented reality thing that he's done?
Yeah, on the wall.
How does that work,
I
by
don't
the way? I
fully
don't even know.
understand what it is.
How does it work?
So there's an
But
app
I've
that
just
you
seen-
download, and then you go to a wall in Shoreditch.
It's
where
got the whole
it becomes
cityscape.
interactive. So if you put the app on and then you put the app in front of the wall, you get to see all of the promo stuff he's been doing when he's walking around the
Sick.
city, like, which I think is
That's mad
fucking
creative,
Yeah.
boy.
lit.
Bro, for him to be in the game as long as he's been,
Oh.
and arguably be bigger than he's ever been,
Oh.
so that means his career, that means his trajectory's always been like this.
Yeah.
That's the only thing you can do is applaud that.
Yeah,
'Cause that's
of
the
course.
hardest thing to do. To come in the game in like 06, 07, 08, whenever it was, and then still be relevant in 2000.
And but remember also, you can't forget that obviously all the shit that he, all the shit that he went, all the shit that he went through as well,
all the obstacles
which
that he's
is
had
which
to
is
jump as
elements
well.
of that was in the rollout of this album. When you look at, see, like when he was in the street and he's kicking all the police cars and that, yeah. Like he's kicking the police cars, the helicopters, all of that. They all go and then they all come back. They all come back and he's like, "Fuck, you're back again!" Like,
Yeah,
And
you
then
know
he
what I'm
goes back
saying?
where? To
There
the
was a
hood.
message.
Hotel goes
there
back
was a message
exactly.
there, innit?
That's what I'm saying.
All I'm
Anyway,
saying is we're only
man's
going
out
to
of it.
appreciate him when he retires.
We are.
Properly.
No, I
And
appreciate
Giggs,
it. I
please
appreciate
link up
it.
with
No,
Dubs
I mean
again.
in its entirety, because even now I don't think I fully appreciate him. That's what's so mad.
But that's like everyone. That's what I always say. That's why I say people need to allow Mourinho.
I'm not gonna lie.
When Mourinho goes,
Oh, cool,
especially
yeah.
you, Chucky, everyone will show him the respect he deserves.
Well, you listen. Let me tell you this now, yeah. When I go to the live show, yeah. See, when I go to the live show, I am fully waiting for the 187 moment, and I will be in the moment.
Mosh pit,
I won't
bro.
have
That's the
to.
mosh pit
I won't
moment.
be sitting there thinking about all of this from like what if and see at the time. I'm gonna be fully in
fair
that
enough.
because I was there at Hammersmith Apollo when he did fucking KMT, yeah, and the year before, what was it? The year before that, I said before, Rick Ross, not the year before, but a couple of years before that, Rick Ross had BMF around that time anyway, yeah. And Rick Ross did Hammersmith Apollo, and bro, I've been to Hammersmith Apollo and seen bear shows there, or whatever. At that moment when Rick Ross came out and did that, yeah, it was one of the most intense things I've ever seen in my life in terms of atmosphere. And I know that even Rick Ross himself wasn't expecting it to be like that. Bro, you see when Giggs did KMT
Was it
in
mad?
Hammersmith, bro, I
Fam.
swear to God, fam,
That song there?
I thought that the whole
Forgot
thing was
about
going
that
to cave. I've never, bro, I promise you when I say this, yeah, I've never in my life seen anything like it, bro.
His verse
I've
on
never
that is
seen
mad.
anything. I've never seen anything like it, bro.
Batman.
But it was just even
Mosh.
from when it
Finished.
dropped.
Done.
That's why I'm vexed that we're not
Done.
at Coachella.
It's just
and
a
seeing
drop
him in
mic
April.
moment, innit?
Done. That
No,
when
no,
he dropped
Wait, he's gonna be
that
at
Batman,
Yeah.
That's all I need to do.
He's
even
gonna
his
be at
verse on
Coachella.
James thing was mad.
Huh?
He's gonna be at Coachella.
Man, don't
Which
care.
Jamie was
Why
on
can't
that
I go Coachella and see gigs? Because I'm telling you, when I went
Charges.
and saw Skepta,
He's
I
got
know
charges.
it makes me angry. When I saw Skepta,
I messaged you. Yeah,
he went mad.
yeah, but he's got charges. He
I
can't
know,
go
but
there.
we need to sort it out. Someone phone the president.